Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Oh man, dude, it's gonna be insane. I don't really do SpaceX stuff here on this channel, but after seeing Starship 5, the way it landed back, that was a such a game changer. Such a game changer that we have to kind of cover it. You know what I mean? We kind of have to cover it because it was a sheesh moment. It was a sheesh flipping moment. So, how y'all doing? How's everyone doing? My time, it's midnight because I'm in the Middle East. I'm in Kuwait. Freaking midnight. How you guys doing? Smash that like button. Let's um let's get this thing let's get this party started. So I got it up here. They delayed it by about 15 minutes or so. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we can do it. Congrats on the video posted by Elon. Oh yeah, dude. Thank you. Thank you. But the thing is, that is not the first time he's done it. He's done it multiple times. So yeah. Thank you though. Thank you. It's fun when Elon shares your stuff sometimes. Then you get bombarded with DMs and all that crazy stuff. Is it live? Not yet. It'll be live in like 10 or 15 minutes. So let's see. It's my first time covering SpaceX or doing these SpaceX things, which is pretty interesting, man. I'm freaking hyped about it, man. It's nice. Hi, Peggy. Talk more about SpaceX. I have heard you saying they will have shares soon. And preference will be given to them who have Teslas. Is that correct? Yes, that's what Elon did say. So Elon said that Tesla shareholders will have will have priority choice to buy. Not, I think it was Starlink shares or maybe SpaceX shares, which is pretty interesting. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. I mean, I got plenty. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all got plenty of Tesla stock, so we're all gonna benefit from it. And SpaceX won't become a public company once they become profitable and so on and so forth. So they don't make that mistake with Tesla. Because Tesla, you know the story, guys. Loved your podcast with Joe. Heck yeah. And if you guys, well, I'm looking to do more podcasts. The problem is that I have so many videos coming out, so many, and I'm a one-man show, right? I do the editing. We'll have an AI that helps me do the editing, but I mainly do the editing. I do the rendering. I do the uploading, the titling, everything. But yeah, these podcasts are fun. I should probably do them more often. I probably do. But yeah, Joe's cool. Joe blew my mind. Crazy guy. Crazy guy. Shout out to him. I'm late. What did I miss? Nothing. They haven't even started the thing yet. They'll start in 12 minutes. But in the meantime, we can talk about Tesla and SpaceX. We can talk about these things. So what you guys got? Is the trajectory of Tesla is it the trajectory of Tesla stock chart? Oh, heck yeah, man. The foreshadow is amazing. I mean, the stock's been going up like crazy too. I mean, like, I'm happy. I just wish I bought more shares. Shares. Jen, I need your suggestion, not financial, education purposes. I have Tesla shares around 220 average. Do you think at current price buying is a good idea for dollar cost averaging? I'll be honest with you, man. Of course, it's not financial advice, but the way how it's setting up, it looks like Tesla could hit 400 by end of the year. Again, not financial advice, but I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 400 by end of the year. There's just too many good things happening for this stock, and if Q4 deliveries is a beat and Q4 earnings is a beat, man, 400, 450, maybe even 500 is even freaking, possible. It's insane. Yes, congrats on Elon using your video yesterday, dude. Happy for you. Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time he does that. He's done it a few times actually, and he comments and stuff here and there on some of my stuff as well. But thank you, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Ah, yes, the king of me. You definitely should use a Tesla bot to edit your video. Let it come out first, man. Let it come out first. And I can use it as a business expense too. 20 grand, use it as a business expense. With Mr. German. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, he was cool. He blew my mind. Shout out to him. Awesome, awesome guy. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. Um, so come on, is this thing gonna start? Come on, man. By the way, guys, my time, it's all the way in it's midnight. Yeah, it's midnight. And I got work tomorrow morning, but you know what? This feels like a historic thing. So I do want to be part of it. I do want to be part of it. So let's see. See what happens. How y'all doing? Let me know. Comments below. How y'all doing? Hope you all are doing, having a great day. Um, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Come on, just gonna refresh it just to make sure. No, I haven't started yet. Anyways, I'll come back too. But yeah, guys, let me know how you guys feeling. How many Tesla shares do you all got? Let's just talk about that for a second. How many Tesla shares you all got? Because when I checked the other day, I'm over 1,000 shares now, so I'm pretty happy about it. I'm happy about it. Charlie saying had to buy back Tesla covered call for 6-7K. Oof. Yeah, man. Cover calls right now, probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea right now. 109, okay, not bad. That's good. If you plan to hold for a long time, that's plenty. Like a long time, that's plenty. What else we got? We got Danu T Roll. 400. 400 is good. 400 is really good. I might have to join you with 0 options. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's very stressful with this option stuff. So I just buy. I just buy and hold. That's the best thing you can do. 450 shares, Shift. All right. 450. I remember when I hit 450, I was so happy. It was actually right before the stock split. I had about 150 shares and then split to 450. It was a good time. Humble times. Now we're over 1,000. Damn. I am living like crap, though. I'll tell you that. To get that much, it's just a lot of savings. It's not easy, but we're here. We are here. 300. Let's keep stacking them chairs, man. I have 500. 500 is nice. 500 is nice. 8 a.m. East Coast, Australia, 40 shares DCA. Hey, man. Dollar cost averaging is the best way. And if I don't sound that ecstatic right now, guys. Well, first of all, this is not a Tesla video, so otherwise I would have been more static, more energized. But it's midnight and there's people sleeping next door to me, so I can't really be loud and screaming like I usually do. But yeah, gotta keep it respectful. I missed one, but I'll go back to you. 0 sold mine at 352 because I am not a illiterate rat who can't read a chart. I'll buy at 100. Oof. I don't know, man. That's a bet. But knowing Tesla, it goes up and down. Maybe it'll work out. But for me, just buy and hold. Just buy and hold, man. When is a good time to buy again? Oh, man. Low 300s or high 200s, if that happens, perfect time to buy again. No questions asked. How long till launch? So, I mean, the thing hasn't gone live yet, man. I mean, if I check it out here. Yeah, you guys can see on the screen. I'm just going to refresh it again. Yeah, hasn't gone live yet. In fact, they delayed it by 5 minutes. Maybe they're waiting for Trump to arrive. I don't know. Tired. Yeah, I'm pretty tired, man. What is your Tesla cost average? Not exact, but just range. In the low 200s. It was in the... Because I bought in 2020. I just been averaging up. And then averaging down again, then averaging all the way back up. But right now it's in the low 200s. Low 200s, which is not bad. Sheesh. Sheesh indeed. I love that. Sheesh. Should have sold my house to get more Tesla shares. Yep. That's always the case, isn't it? I wish I bought more Tesla shares. I wish I bought more Tesla shares. But even like I know my price target for this year was 350, and it's freaking just hovering around there, which is amazing. But I think a year from today, the stock's gonna be maybe closer to or maybe exceeding 600. You guys need to wait for my Tesla stock price prediction for 2025 dropping Saturday, but on Friday for members, for YouTube members. So if you guys aren't a YouTube member, there's a join button right underneath. If you're viewing this on YouTube, you guys can join. Little as like $2 a month or something. I love you guys, and it's growing rapidly. The community is growing rapidly. I love it. And once there's a Discord, those guys will have access to Discord as well. Hey, what's happening, my man? What's going on? A year from today, we're rich, bro. I love your display picture. Sheesh. What's up, Peggy? Dude, I love your display picture. That's literally that's the go all in poster, but I put it on a T-shirt, and you guys can click the link. It's also linked in the bio, the go all in T-shirt, which is exactly that, and you put it as your display picture, your profile picture. I'm humbled. Thank you. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. A year from now, we're gonna be rich. I mean, hell yeah. I don't have a lot of shares. Trust me, when I say I am holding, I am slowly buying. I am not effing leaving. Long game is the best game with this thing. Long game is the best game. You're the best. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, man, TJ. Tesla, my Lala just holding 709. Worth buying. Dipping page is best. Pidgey is best out there. Thank you. Yeah. I'm still waiting to buy on the dips. I'm not having given up on, but the dips, if the stock goes like mid 200s, that's like the new 150s. That's all I'm going to tell you. If it even goes to 250. I don't know if it will go to 250. That's the thing. Almost to 2,300 shares, 189 average. Sheesh, bro. 2,300 shares. That's a lot of chairs, dude. Nice. Congrats. If that's the common theme, should have bought more. Shouldn't we all just sell kidney? Exactly. The problem with me is that I had the cash to buy more, and I had trenches and batches to buy them, and I did, but I held out more because just in case if it go lower. That's the issue with this game. That's why you shouldn't. That's why this dollar cost averaging is the best thing. Who cares if it goes up, if it goes down? If you're investing for the next 5-10 years and you're dollar cost averaging, who the hell cares? Thumbs up back to you, TJ. I doubt we're going to see. Yeah, let's not get greedy, but if there's a crash, I'm pretty sure we will see it. But it won't be long lived. I'll tell you that. Now, that's for sure. Bravo, Elon. Let's flip and go. Keep dollar cost averaging in Tesla stock. Every comment of yours, love it. And watching your videos since a very long time. I remember those days when you mentioned sometimes you get stressed because you have invested a lot of your savings. Dude, humble times, man. Humble flipping times. I don't think we'll see 200s again. Yeah, if the way it's going, I don't think we'll see it either. Sold. Well, bro, why would you gonna sell? Oh. Well, again, if you're swing trading, great. But if you're not, oof. I mean, pray for a crash. That's all I gotta say. Keep DSing to Tesla stock if you believe it. Yes, there it is. I love it. What is the minimum this days to buy Tesla? What do you mean the minimum? I don't know what you mean by that. Does this launch even matter for Tesla? Well, Starship 5 mattered to Tesla because that rocket came back and went down and landed by itself. It's a big deal. It means Tesla, FSD, all that kind of stuff. It's a big deal, man. But SpaceX, man. SpaceX is now entering a new stage, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, first time covering Tesla, not Tesla, many times covering Tesla, but SpaceX. When am I coming back to Toronto? Summer, bro. Toronto is broken. I'm sorry, but summer. And when I'm even there, I'm thinking to go to Texas for some time. But coming back in summer, man. Are you a fellow Torontonian? Maybe we can meet up or something. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, excuse me for that, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Um, your videos helped me give the conviction to trade a big portion of Tesla that I had unrealized. Yeah, dude, you bought at 100. That was the time, dude. I was on this channel banging on this table saying, "It's the time to buy. Why y'all running away?" Yeah, that was a good time to buy, man. I poured my whole entire life savings when it was at 100 in December 2022, 2023. It was an amazing time. Amazing time. Sheesh. Oh, whoops. I'll come back. Do you think that, yeah, 2027, next stock split, claiming it. If we are going to dip, it will be after Christmas days, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Depending on, because yeah, we got the Santa Claus rally coming, which is going to be a sheesh moment. And then we got earnings. But no, if earnings is a killer, then I don't think so. I don't think the train is stopping there. Peggy, my current position is all on test TSLL, Tesla double leverage, 9K. Do I sell and buy normal shares or hold? Well, I think TSL double leverage, right? I mean, if you think the stock's going to continue to go higher this year, which I think it will, but don't take my advice for it, then keep it until it's finished, the year's finished, then you can convert to shares. I don't do any of these TSS. I did Tesla TSLY for the first time this year earlier. Dividends were great, but I was losing a lot of my principal. And what ended up happening is that my principal depreciated so much because the stock went down so much that my dividends, even with the nice amount of dividends I was getting, didn't even make up for it. So I sold it. I bought Tesla and I made all that losses back, which is crazy. You read almost every comment. I think you should keep this when you blow up and forget. I try my best to get to every single comment. Because right now there's only, 600 of you guys here between X and YouTube. So I'm trying my best to get to everybody. If there's 6,000 of you and there's continuous comments, obviously I can't do everybody. So I'm trying my best. Hold the line, Elon and Trump. But yeah, I'm not gonna forget about any of you guys. I mean, I love you all. And if you guys want to be part of the community that I'm building, there's a join button on YouTube that you guys can click. $2 a month, and you guys are part of the community. Get priority for everything. So that's a way of supporting me too, if you guys would like. All right, hold the line. Trump, man, Elon Trump's such a good team. It's crazy. I'm planning to buy Tesla tomorrow. What is the minimum price to buy Tesla? Yeah, 300. Or I mean, I'm sure you can buy fractional shares as well. I'm locked in at $183. That's good, man. That's nice. Charlie, where? So underneath, I don't know if you're viewing this on your phone or mobile, but there's a join button right underneath the this video. It's called join. Just click on that, and then there's 3 tiers, whatever you guys want, whatever tier there is. Just go for the $2 one, whatever. But if you want to support me even more monthly, that's up to you. That's all, that's how you can do it. So yeah, so you're on your phone, right? Yeah, so it's literally right next to Curious Peggy, and then it's my Curious Peggy, and then right across from it is join. So you can click on that, and then you can do whatever they need to do. My favorite part about Tesla is whenever Peggy gets hyped on Twitter. Oh man, that's every day, even on red days. It's crazy. That's what I'm thinking. Even a little dip would be great for increasing share count. Yep. My pleasure, my man. My pleasure. On FSD? What are you talking about? I'm so confused. All right. It's late, man. Come on. It's like 12:30 a.m. here. Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear that? I don't know. Can you guys hear this? I don't hear anything. Let me know if you guys hear anything. Yes. What? Epic. Thanks, man. Let's go. Let's do this. I gotta keep it down. People are sleeping next door. But let's do this. It's gonna be so epic. This is gonna be so epic. So I'm gonna bring the volume down a little bit because I don't want to get copyrighted, because that's what happened last time on We Robot. I don't want to get copyrighted. So you guys can hear it a little bit. I'm just gonna talk over so I don't get copyrighted or anything like that. But Trump dance, oh heck yo. That is fun. I love doing live streams now. I used to be scared of it, but I'm actually pretty happy about it right now.
Good afternoon.
Here we go.
Welcome to the 6th flight test of Starship. It is currently 3:25 p.m. Central Time at Starbase, Texas, and it has been just 40 days since our last launch of the world's biggest rocket. We're targeting our first afternoon Starship liftoff just 34 minutes from now, and that will occur at 4 p.m. Central Time. Now, this timing will bring us daylight views of the ship splashing down on the other side of the world. I'm Kate Tice, Senior Quality Systems Engineering Manager here at SpaceX.
And I'm Jesse Anderson, a Senior Structures Engineering Manager, and we are joining you live from SpaceX Hawthorne. On Flight 5, we promised you maximum excitement, and Starship delivered in what had to be one of the most memorable moments in my time here at SpaceX.
Same.
Like so many of you, we were in utter shock as we watched that historic booster catch unfold, and we're back today to try and do it all over again. As Kate mentioned, it's been just over a month since Flight 5, making this our quickest turnaround yet between Starship flight tests. Our ultimate goal is to get that turnaround time down to hours.
Following Flight 5, the SpaceX team went to work, immediately implementing lessons learned into the vehicle and tower's hardware and software systems for Flight 6. This is what rapid iteration looks like. We gather real data from these test flights and turn around and fly again as soon as possible. This is the process that is bringing us the rapidly reusable Starship that will soon be taking us to the Moon and Mars.
Flight 5 proved that we can safely bring the booster back to the launch tower, which is a key factor in driving rapid reusability, and land ship with a high-precision splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We'll be taking you through today's test objectives in just a moment, but first, let's check in with Dan, who is on the ground just a few miles from the pad at Starbase with the best views. How's it going, Dan?
Hey, Jesse, it's going fantastic. I got a couple hundred of my best friends out here ready to watch this launch and hopefully another catch today. But welcome everybody back to Starbase for another Starship launch. I'm Dan Hewitt. Got Launch Control Center right behind me, tower just about 6 miles over that shoulder. It has been a pretty quiet countdown. Not a lot of chatter on the loops right now as we are into prop load, and we are counting down to the very top of our window at 4 p.m. Central Time, so just about 32 minutes from now. Right now, the range is projected to be clear by then. We've got our assets out there making sure land, air, sea, everything around the launch pad and then our flight path are clear before we give the final go to liftoff today. We got through the weather poll. Everything was looking great. A little breezy today, but well within our constraints for both launch and catch criteria. And as you can tell, we're loading propellant onboard the vehicle. You can see those white frost lines starting to tick up as we're putting the cryogenic, the liquid methane, and liquid oxygen out to both of those vehicles. The ship prop load started at about T-minus 49 minutes, and then the booster followed just a couple minutes after at about T-minus 41. We're almost halfway full on ship, just about a third on booster. Those are both going to continue until we're about 3 minutes, 20 seconds before liftoff on ship. And then the booster is going to close out at about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So we pretty much we're loading up right to that last possible minute, keeping it as dense and cold as possible, and then getting off the launch pad. The countdown startup sequence, everything will look very familiar if you watched Flight 5, assuming you did. But you're going to see the engines start to ignite at about 3 seconds before liftoff. They're going to start up in 3 different groups. First, those center 13, then 15 of that outer ring, and then those final 5, bringing all 33 Raptors online. After that, we'll see about a second later, and then it'll lift off. So a couple seconds from first light until motion. As usual, we can hold at T-minus 40 seconds if we have any last-minute issues to clear, anything with the range, anything that triggers on the vehicle. And if we pass T-minus 10 seconds, the deflector fires, and then we scrub, then we're done for the day for at least 24 hours. But weather is fantastic, light breeze, no clouds in the sky, not tracking any hardware constraints to launch today. If we're not able to get off the pad, though, we've got opportunities throughout the week, could be 24 to 48 hours later. But everything looking great. I'm excited to be able to see another one of these get off the pad. Check back in with everybody in just a couple of minutes. Back over to Jesse and Kate.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Now, you could see those two towers in the back there in the distance at Starbase. Starbase is really coming along just as rapidly as Starship itself. That second launch tower will be coming online next year, and it will allow us to increase our flight cadence and test even more frequently. And just a few kilometers away from the two towers, our cutting-edge 1 million square foot star factory is nearing completion with the goal of producing hundreds of ships a year.
Yeah, that might sound crazy, and that's because it is. If you can imagine a future where we are flying and catching a fleet of boosters, which is the lower portion of the vehicle, that fleet is actually pretty small compared to the potentially hundreds of ships, the uppermost portion of Starship, that will be flying in that future vision.
Yeah, exactly, Kate. Those ships will be staying in space for long-duration missions to go to the moon or Mars, or become tankers for refueling, or any number of other uses. But the boosters will come back and turn around to launch the next ship. So in order to hit that production cadence of hundreds per year, we're rapidly building out Star Factory, which is our Starship production facility in Texas.
And views of that Star Factory there. Now, this place allows us to move system integration work earlier in the build process, which means more efficiency, higher quality, and ultimately faster production. Starbase is an incredible place to be right now. There really is nowhere else in the world like it. You know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Now, what you might be hinting at is the good news is we are hiring. If you love what you're seeing, check out our openings at Starbase. On the engineering side, we're looking for vehicle design engineers across structures, propulsion, and integration.
And if you're a hands-on tech, we're looking for integration technicians and welders that can help us hit our goal of building a Starship every 8 hours. And to do that, we need builders.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need a lot of builders to get that down to just 8 hours.
Right? Now, beyond that, in order to keep Starbase growing, we have all kinds of roles, from baristas to HVAC technicians to EMTs. So chances are, if you're looking, we have a place for you. Visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings.
Every role is critical to the future of Starship. With Starbase growing faster than ever, we can't do it without you.
This place is where our future is being built, and that is a future that we are all very excited about. All right, let's dive deeper into the inner workings of Starship and learn more about this flying skyscraper.
Starship features two major parts, the ship, which has 6 Raptor engines, and the Super Heavy booster, which has 33 Raptor engines. Now, just like flights 1 through 5, the current iteration of Starship is an experimental vehicle flying for development. And with a few planned upgrades, Starship will have 3 times the thrust of Saturn V at 10,000 metric tons of thrust, plus the added benefit of full reusability. Starship 2 will be capable of carrying more than 100 tons to orbit, and Starship 3 will be able to lift more than 200 tons to orbit. Now, the amount of mass we're able to launch per rocket is crucial to creating a self-sustaining city on Mars.
Exactly. And speaking of launch mass, we should probably acknowledge the banana in the room and our today's secret payload.
Okay, so 2 things here. The first is, remember on Flight 5, we had a giant Mechazilla decal where the banana is today. And there you can see that on your screen. Now, that decal is 3 feet tall, which might be hard to tell looking at it on the ship right there, which is why we have a full-scale reproduction of that decal here with us so that you can see the size compared to humans.
Yeah, it is bigger than you think it is. Like Jesse said, it's 3 feet high, and this is full scale, just like the one that was on Flight 5. Now, it is hard to follow Mechazilla, but I do have one better. Bananas have been used for quick visual comparisons for quite some time, and our teammates thought it was time to bring the venerated yellow fruit to Starship.
Today, we're flying Starship's first ever physical payload, which is, as you might have guessed, is
a banana. That's a live view inside Starship, and if you look closely, you can see our stuffed banana payload, which is doubling as today's zero gravity or zero G indicator. And while this payload will remain inside the vehicle at all times and will not be deployed today, it did give us a chance to do a test run of payload approval processes with the FAA. And that's something that we're hoping to do next year if we start flying our first Starlink satellites on Starship. Godspeed, banana.
Some additional size for context, you can see on your screen a Starlink Mini next to a banana for scale. And to get an even better sense of how big Starship is, let's take the average size banana next to the average size human, which is about 2 meters high. Towering over our average human is the length of the Millennium Falcon, which comes in at 35 meters. Our Falcon 9 rocket with the payload fairing attached is double the size of the Millennium Falcon at 70 meters, and nearly twice the size of that is the fully integrated Starship at 121 meters tall. The ship is about 50 meters, and the Super Heavy booster alone stands 71 meters tall. And we do have plans to make the ship and booster even taller in the future.
And yeah, it might be hard to imagine that because it's pretty big already. Now, Starship's first stage has a diameter roughly 2.5 times that of Falcon 9. And as you can see on your screen, with 33 much larger Raptor engines. I love this view. This is looking up at the aft end of Starship there at the engine bay. Now, moving up the rocket, the ship features 6 Raptor engines, 3 sea levels, and 3 vacuum engines, which are optimized to operate in the vacuum of space. The ship is designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface, like the surface of the moon, for example. This ship is also outfitted with 4 flaps to help aerodynamically control the vehicle's attitude during atmospheric flight and enable a precision landing.
To reach full reusability, the ship must survive re-entry not just once, but multiple times. It took the teams at SpaceX about 3 years to develop the heat shield on Starship, and development for improvements is still ongoing. The ship's heat shield is composed of thousands of hexagonal ceramic tiles designed to insulate the vehicle during atmospheric entry, where temperatures can be as high as 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit or over 1,400 degrees Celsius. The tiles are something we iterate on every flight test as we build towards a heat shield requiring no refurbishment between flights to unlock rapid reuse.
And the teams have actually already begun testing the heat shield tiles in environments simulating Mars atmospheric entry conditions, which we'll see more of in just a few minutes. You know, slightly different than coming back to Earth.
Just slightly different. And in between the first and second stages is our hot stage, which we saw in action on flights 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's recap that last flight to understand what we accomplished and how that's changing for today's flight.
On October 13th, Starship successfully lifted off at 7:25 a.m. Central Time from Starbase, Texas. A gorgeous sunrise ascent that was fairly quickly followed by the hot stage separation maneuver, which we see here, as well as on multiple previous Starship flights. The booster then performed a flip maneuver, boost back burn, and then we jettisoned that hot stage, which you see there. The booster then performed its boost back burn, which brought it back on a trajectory to the launch tower, back to the Gulf Coast. We can see here the booster descending through the Earth's atmosphere. It broke the sound barrier again as it was coming back through. Those Raptor engines relit, and then the moment that made us all lose our minds, the booster came back for a successful first ever catch by the chopstick arms back at the exact same launch tower that it launched from. It was insane. As you can see, we all went bananas. And you did too, probably. Thousands of distinct vehicle and pad criteria had to be met, and thanks to the tireless work of the entire Starship team, we succeeded on that first attempt.
And while that all was happening, ship was continuing to coast towards the Indian Ocean. It executed an excellent coast, made its way down through re-entry, relit its engines, did that flip maneuver, relit its engines for landing burn, and then splashed down into the Indian Ocean. Now, that whole flight test concluded that splashdown 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 40 seconds after launch.
Starship's fifth flight test was one of our most ambitious yet, and as we work to demonstrate techniques fundamental to Starship and Super Heavy's fully and rapidly reusable design.
And I think I speak for all of us when I say that seeing the catch for the first time was an extraordinary moment for the entire SpaceX team. We've seen a lot of wild firsts here, but that was truly an epic moment in time.
Yeah, we're not forgetting that anytime soon. Certainly one in the history books. Now, today's mission profile is very similar to Flight 5, but there are some differences that we've incorporated as we prepare for future reuse. About 20 minutes from now, Super Heavy will ignite its 33 Raptor engines and lift off from Starbase. About 2.5 minutes into flight, the booster will separate from the ship in a hot stage separation, and we've seen that occur on multiple flights, including Flight 2, 3, 4, and 5. About 2 seconds after that burns, we'll jettison that hot stage. The booster will perform its flip and boost back maneuver. And we will once again look to return the booster to the launch site for a catch by the tower's chopstick arms. And once again, we will only attempt that if both the booster and tower are healthy after launch. We were successful last time, but we should emphasize that this process is still very new. And this is still just a test, so success is very far from guaranteed today. It's always a possibility that we'll lose the vehicle. It's a contingency that we always plan for.
Yeah, exactly. Now, while the booster is doing its job, the ship's 6 engines will remain lit for a few minutes before shutting down and then going into the coast phase. The ship will coast for a total of about 40 minutes or so, reaching a peak altitude of approximately 213 kilometers. Now, one additional objective for this flight during coast is an in-space burn using one of ship's Raptor engines. Doing a burn while in space will build confidence that we can do deorbit burns, which is a key capability for upcoming orbital missions. Now, after the coast phase, the ship will attempt a controlled reentry, and if ship makes it all the way down, we'll once again perform a flip and landing burn before splashing down in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. Now, there are some notable changes to our entry plans for this flight, and they will intentionally push the ship to, and very likely beyond its limits. This includes several thermal protection upgrades and operational changes as we prepare for future ship catch and reuse. Today's flight test will also test new secondary thermal protection materials, and entire sections of the heat shield has actually been removed in certain areas. And on top of all of that, we're going to fly the ship at an aggressive angle of attack once it's moving slower than the speed of sound.
Now, this means we'll be flying nose down instead of our usual belly flop orientation during final descent. This will no doubt stress the limits of the flap's ability to maintain control, but it will be a chance to get real flight data on what our limits actually are.
So, to put it as bluntly as possible, do not be surprised if this is not a smooth flight to splashdown today. We are intentionally looking for how far we can push and discover the vehicle's true limits as we plan for future ship return and catch.
And even though ship recovery is not expected today, the telemetry and data we receive all the way to the end is what we're looking for and what will help us get to a rapidly reusable Starship of the future.
Now, just like Flight 5, one of our objectives for Flight 6 is attempting to return the booster to the launch site to be caught by the tower. The booster for this flight has upgrades to add redundancy across its propulsion system, increase the structural, as well as increasing the structural strength in a few spots. We've also implemented a few changes across both ship and tower to try and speed up the post-catch timeline. Returning vehicles to the launch site leverages the same hardware that we use for stacking ahead of flight, making our infrastructure multi-purpose. And in order for us to achieve that rapid reusability that we keep talking about, we need a quick turnaround. And you can't get much faster than returning the launch vehicle right back there to where it needs to launch from again.
Exactly. In this video, you can see our original render of booster catch alongside the actual footage of catch from Flight 5. This video is just mind-blowing to see the predicted versus reality. And just like the last flight for today's booster catch, there are thousands of criteria that need to be met in order to proceed with catch. Automated checks have to indicate we have a healthy booster and a healthy tower, and the flight director must issue a manual command, which is informed by manual checks from the flight control team. If this command is not sent prior to the completion of the boost back burn, or if automated health checks show unacceptable conditions with Super Heavy or the tower, the booster will default to a trajectory that takes it to a landing burn and soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
I remember when we first heard the call out that tower was go for catch on Flight 5, and wow, I still get goosebumps when I think about that moment. Now, for today's test, just like Flight 5, we're only going to catch if everything on the booster and the tower checks out after launch. As always, we accept no compromises when it comes to the safety of the public and our team. And so to that end, the area around the pad and the flight path are cleared in advance.
A lot of things have to go right in order to line up the booster catch. So if all criteria is met, we will attempt to catch, but there is a chance that we may not. Either way, we'll be getting tons of in-flight data, which is extremely valuable.
Exactly. That first catch was pretty epic, though. So like you, we'll be keeping our hopes high to see another one this afternoon. Now, Dan, you got to see it in person last time. Are you mentally prepared for a possible round 2?
I mean, probably not. That was pretty hands down the coolest thing I've ever seen. And the fact that we're going to do that every time now breaks my brain a little bit, but it was absolutely incredible. One of the unique aspects with Super Heavy coming back is it does generate a sonic boom. This is something commonly associated with reusable spacecraft. It's coming in faster than the speed of sound and then slowing down. It creates that pressure wave that builds up. And then when it reaches you on the ground, that rapid change of pressure.
So they're going to be yapping on for some time. Let's talk about this for a second. Oh man, okay.
Thunderclap sound, but I'm not expecting it. It's definitely going to get your attention, and we were able to hear it last time. The impact of or how loud it is changes pretty dramatically.
Is absolutely
you can see as we were
madness.
And there was
Look at this thing.
that quick triple pop that you heard. Now that was picked up from closer to the pad. Most people at our distance, and
That's
further away,
incredible.
you're only going to hear one or two as they're happening kind of so on top of each other that it might just sound like one big bang. But as I said,
Anyways,
that's something
they're going to
that's
keep
only
rambling on
associated
until
with
the
spacecraft
actual launch.
being
So in the
reused.
meantime,
With Falcon 9, we heard it during show. And
let's talk
we're
about you
looking
guys for a
forward to hopefully
second.
hearing it
You
today.
can bring this down a little
Just a
more.
quick status check, though. We're about
Oh.
85% full on ship. Almost 2/3 of the way full on booster, continuing to count down. About
Okay.
13 and a half minutes, a little under that, until we lift off today.
So 10,
But still
okay.
looking good. I'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes. Back over to Jesse and Kate.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dan. Yeah, I think Dan said
We'll
it
come
really
back to them in a
well,
few
but
minutes too.
it
So
really does hurt for
let's.
fans to think that this
You
is
guys were
not
commenting
just
some
the
stuff that I want to go
that
over.
this is just the beginning. Every one of these flights is a
To
step
saying,
towards
to
fully
saying thank you,
operational
Pidgey, giving the
Starship that
idea
will
of
take us beyond
all in
orbit.
Tesla.
And
Again,
when
not
Mark
financial
is
advice,
the
but
Federation here,
it looks like it turned out well for you, believe it or not, with
as you
Tesla,
may think.
with
In fact,
then Tesla
Ascent
option.
Starship's
My
Mars
Robinhood
test
account went from
US
80K to 1 million
Which is
in
when the
1
next
week.
Mars transfer window opens, which is under
1,000%
2
plus
years from now.
gain. So
You
thank
might be
you. Wish you the
familiar with
best. Wow.
Starlink
Well, I mean,
logo,
thank you for the
which
super
you see there
chat.
on your
And
screen.
again, none of my
It's an
stuff is
iconic
financial advice,
representation of
but
the Mars transfer
hey, man,
orbit, also called
you
the
can't
orbit
never bet
transfer
against
orbit.
Tesla or
This
Elon
transfer
Musk.
window, or the
That's just
time between
insane.
the time
That's
when
just
Earth and Mars
flippin'
are closest to each
insane.
other, opens every
Wow.
26 months and is only open for about 2 to 3
Yeah, that's just
months at a
crazy.
time
That's
for
just
a
crazy.
vehicle with Starship's
I don't know, 80K to 1 million in a week. Imagine. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. I don't know what else to say. Tesla single-handedly saved my entire portfolio. What the heck do you have in your portfolio that Tesla? I mean, Tesla, I can't bet against that, but I mean, what other companies or stock did you were holding that Tesla saved it?
Right now, our
Sheesh. I'm curious to know. What else? I know there's a lot of comments from you guys. Finding it.
And demonstrate capabilities central to our role in taking astronauts to the moon as part of NASA's Artemis program.
Amazing. How you doing, Rikers? Hope you're doing good. I won't be shocked for. Yeah, neither would I. I wouldn't be shocked if this was 400 by the end of the year. What's the banana thing? The thing was bananas. That's, I think, what it is. Yeah, somewhere around there. Do you think Tesla stock goes up after another successful? Yes. Yeah. I no doubt about that. I think so. Exactly. Yeah. Which is why Trump is really good for Tesla.
And when the time comes to land on the moon, Starship will link up with NASA's Orion spacecraft in lunar orbit, where astronauts will
Don't
transfer
ask,
over
just
for their descent.
don't ask. Just don't ask. It was
On the
bad.
lunar surface, they'll likely
Okay, give me
come
one
down in
give me one
their
company,
Axiom
one stock that you're
ELU
holding.
spacesuits from Axiom
What do you think
Space
about Nvidia
and
earnings
leave the
tomorrow? I think it's
first
gonna be a
footprints
beat.
on the moon in
I
more than
think
half a
they're just
century,
killing it right now.
kickstarting
I want to be
humanity's
betting
mission
against
to
them.
establish a sustainable presence there.
It's like
And coming
everyone's
soon
buying
to
from
a moon
them
base
and
option near you,
high margins.
Starship Enterprise Edition.
I think it's gonna be a
It is
glorious
so
quarter, and it's gonna bring the
exciting,
whole
and
market
all
even
the
higher.
advancements that are going to
My
come
opinion.
in order to enable all of that.
But it was maybe
Development approach has been the basis for all of SpaceX's major
whole bunch of
innovative
Bitcoin
advances,
mining
from
stocks.
Falcon,
Oh
Dragon, and
yeah,
Starlink. Today we're
that's
testing
tough,
hardware
man.
and systems.
I'm sorry about
We
that.
need to know how they perform
Why do you have
under
Lucid?
conditions.
Why do you have
First,
Lucid in
and
your
their flight
portfolio?
environment.
That's a big red
We'll
flag.
examine the bugs and limits now during testing and later
I would
on.
short Lucid, and now I don't know. I never shorted a
Reiterate,
stock.
while
Not
we
financial
didn't
advice, but
determine
it's crazy.
an acceptable level of
Tesla is
technical
a
red
gold
order
mine.
pad to learn as fast as
Yes,
possible, we
it's gonna
took
become the
no
world's most valuable
compromises when it
company
comes
one
to the
day.
safety
No
of the
doubt
public
about that.
for our team.
A
So
proud
today,
Patreon member.
this
Oh
is
yes,
6 of many
yes.
booster
Thank
flight
you,
tests at Starship
thank you
before it
guys. I
comes
mean,
to
thank you,
operation.
Solution,
And we tend
and
to do
and
our
the
testing
5,000 by
out in the
2032.
open,
Let's
just
flip
like
and go.
today. And that means
Yeah, I also have
we'll
Patreon
sometimes see
guys,
when our
which I
hardware doesn't
do
perform as we planned during that testing. And
give
that's okay,
exclusive
because
content
this
there
is
in terms of
exactly
my
what
like
we are
Excel
testing
sheets and
for,
stuff.
to physically see
So you guys can
if
either
performance
support me
matches
here
what
on
we
YouTube
expect it to
or on
do
Patreon.
or not. Even more
Either
in
way.
today's test flight, where we're purposefully
Either way.
pushing the ship beyond its limits.
You get value in both
Starship
places.
development is also being aided by
Yes, people are
Starlink
expecting a
Space
lot
Base
from it. I have an
on
average of
Tallinn.
110
You
in
might remember
NVIDIA.
the Starlink panels
Oh wait,
that were
100
incorporated
NVIDIA.
into
Yeah,
Starship, and
yeah,
you
it's gonna
see
go
them
up. I
there
think.
on your screen. Those
The
are the
financial
solar
advice. I
panels on
could be wrong,
Starship's
but
base.
it could go up.
Starlink brings us the epic views
I
in
don't
space
know
and on
anymore. Thank
re-entry.
God.
It also
Yeah,
helps deliver us critical
I realized that
flight
too.
data and
Before
clear
Tesla, I was in a bunch of dividend stocks and stuff.
Starlink
And they did
continues to
okay.
help us push the limits in space.
But
Short term
I'm
by
glad I
providing
sold and I
great
bought
views
Tesla, because
and
now when I
flight
look back
data
at those
on our
dividend
next
stocks,
few
they're
flights,
50% of what they are
particularly
now.
for
So
re-entry,
that was a
which
good call.
spaceflight veterans know that is historically a period of blackout
All right,
for all communications
10 minutes,
within
guys,
spaceflight.
until we get a lot.
Outside of Starship, Starlink has helped people across the globe, particularly in rural and remote areas that have been underserved by traditional broadband internet.
Yeah, and soon Starship will deploy our next generation Starlink satellites, which will continue to increase our capability to connect even more people with high-speed internet.
Bro, I had
around the
XRP
world and beyond.
and
Now, as we
I
continue
sold
to
it
prepare
because I have a
for our
little bit of
next several
Bitcoin.
flight tests,
I
we
sold my
recently
ETH
performed a
and I
quick
bought
beta test
XRP.
of
XRP
Starship
crashed.
for Flight 7.
And then I
Our
sold my
operation
XRP at a loss and bought
continuing a
Bitcoin.
number of major milestones.
I think it's like less than
The
two.
ship has been
Well, now
stretched,
because it's doubled,
to make room for
it's like
larger
$2,000,
propellant
$3,000 I
tanks,
have in
increasing
Bitcoin, but
the
still,
propellant capacity from
I don't know.
1,200
XRP,
tons to 1,500
if the
tons.
banks use
The
it,
floor
yes,
flaps
but
also got a
I don't know what
redesign.
the news is
They
with them.
have shrunk in size and they also shifted in
Just
location.
income on Tesla
Both of these
options.
things
Now
will
it's been
help
paying
better
me
protect
500.
them during
Wow,
entry heating while still
that's
keeping flight
amazing.
control. There's also a wide
That is
range of
amazing. You gotta
upgrades
teach
that
me how to
will
do that,
make the
man. You
vehicle
gotta
more
teach
reliable,
me
adding
how to do
redundancy
that.
and the ability to operate for longer durations in space.
One unique aspect of a trip to Mars are the different conditions ship will see when entering the Martian atmosphere.
Oh, they're talking about
It's
Mars.
difficult to simulate Mars's atmosphere when re-entering on Earth, so we've been testing a variety of heat shield materials inside a specialized plasma jet chamber at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, where we're able to more closely simulate Mars's 95% carbon dioxide atmosphere.
Aside from looking awesome, this is important testing. The intense heat of entry will cause the CO2 to break down into its base elements, exposing Starship to
That's just
atomic
insane what they're doing about
which
Mars and stuff.
increases
It's
surface
incredible.
heating and can cause materials to oxidize
I don't know
or
why ETH isn't
suddenly
performing
break
well
down.
compared to Bitcoin. Do you see
Spacecraft
long
entering
term? I think ETH
Mars
could do
will
very well in long term,
increase
but
the amount of atomic oxygen at their
the holy grail and the crown jewel is Bitcoin,
and that is certainly a
and it's like the safe
challenge.
bet,
As
which
we
is quite
continue to
funny
test, we'll learn more
because
about what makes a great
people
shield for
say
Mars.
Bitcoin is not really the safe
All
bet,
right,
but
now that we're heading into the final minutes
it's a
of
safe
the
bet.
countdown, let's go back to
Final
Justin, the
minutes.
latest on the ground there at
Let's see what they're
Starbase.
saying.
Hey, Kate, afraid I have nothing but good news for you. We have a go from our range safety team. We are a little over 90% full on ship, almost 85% full on booster. and not tracking any holds to an on-time liftoff. So we've got about 3 more minutes of prop load. As long as the range stays clear, we don't trip any other holds, we might blow right past that T-minus 40-second mark and lift off right at the top of our window at 4 p.m. Central. So toss it back to you guys one more time, but fun part about to start, we are, a little under 6 minutes away from launch.
All right, so we are continuing to progress now at 5 minutes and 43 seconds until liftoff. Now, once we pass the T-minus 40-second mark, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems will come up to flight pressure, and the ship will go on to internal power.
And then after that, the quick disconnect, or what we call the QD arm lockout, is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. And once we pass the T-minus 40-second mark, we still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and then hold there to assess what happened and if we can proceed again to T0.
Exactly. However, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be an automatic scrub for the day, as the teams would need to refill the deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks over at the tank farm before we're able to make another attempt.
Now, it is just so unbelievable that it's just been only a little over a month, and we are just a few minutes away from Flight 6. The crowd here is building up. We've got a much larger crowd here than when we were launching at 4 or 5 in the morning. Yep. Out here. So very exciting to have an afternoon launch to have all the employees here.
Exactly. Now, just as a reminder, that T-minus 40-second hold, if we opt to use it, everything is still potentially go for launch. So nothing to be worried about there. At that point, basically up until T-minus 40 seconds, all aborts are just holds. This would allow the team to wait for final checkouts to assess propellant levels, engines, avionics, vehicle pressurization, range, weather. Occasionally we've had shrimp boats lingering in the past, but that doesn't sound like that is the case today.
Yeah, not today. No shrimp boats, which is great. Everything so far is looking good. We're getting really excited here, just a few minutes away. We're going to go back, send it over to Dan in Starbase. How's it going, Dan?
It is still going great. Just coming up on about 3.5 minutes away, so we should be done with our prop load on ship momentarily. Then about 30 seconds later, we'll close out on booster. Our flight control team on board, or in the building just behind me, not on board. Some of them might wish they were on board. Flight control team in the building behind me, they're going to have a lot of work to do right after we lift off, as we still have a lot of manual checks that happen on the tower prior to the flight director, who's going to be Tristan Pierce again today, giving a manual command to bring the booster back to the launch site. And the tower did just incredibly well on the last flight. We didn't lose any of our required redundancy for a catch. So we're hoping to see that again today. A lot of the team, really putting armor on the tower, making all of those things work, played a huge role in making that catch possible, and looking forward to hopefully seeing that happen again. And of course, sending our first payload to space. You can see the banana. It's very tightly secured, but I assure you it does have some room to float around. So once we're in a zero gravity environment, we should see our first Starship zero gravity indicator putting on a little bit of a show. And that's looking right in. That's where we're going to have Starlinks. That's our PEZ deployer. So getting its ride to space. So coming up on about 2.5 minutes, we are closing out on all of our prop load. Just heard that our fill drains are starting to close. So that means we're no longer going to be flowing propellant into the booster and the ship. We're going to do what's called pushbacks. So all of that propellant in the ground systems is going to get pushed back to the tanks, clear out everything around the pad right before we light those 33 engines and take off. Just quick reminder, you're going to see fire start at the bottom. You're going to see the deflector start at about 10 seconds before launch. Lots of water to help dissipate all that heat, all that sound. And then the engine starting up in 3 different groups. And then about a second after T0, we should see liftoff. About 2.5 minutes into the flight, a little bit longer, we'll see hot staging. And that's when we're going to be listening really close on those loops to see if we're going to be bringing the booster back for a catch today. Do always want to caution, it's never a guarantee. We've done this once. We'll see if we do it again. We're only going to do it if the booster and the tower are looking really good before we attempt to bring it back here. But Coming up on a minute, not tracking any holds on the board right now. So as long as we don't have any last second things, which do happen. All right, flight director just confirmed T-minus 1 minute. Key moment to look at in 10 seconds, that T-minus 40.
Here we flip and go, guys. Here we go. Smash that like button. Let's go.
And we flew right through that.
Flight directors go for launch.
All right, we're now T-minus 20 seconds until liftoff of Starship Flight 6. This will mark our second attempt to catch the Super Heavy booster at the launch tower, as well as
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Booster Raptor, chamber pressure nominal.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
Vehicle
All right,
has
we're
reached
just a little over a minute
maximum
into flight.
dynamic pressure.
We're about 6 miles away, so all the sound's still hitting us here. Hearing good call outs that power telemetry nominal, that's flying straight and true. We do see all 33 Raptor engines lit up on telemetry screens. At this point, we've passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that max Q. Now coming up in just a little over a minute from now is going to be hot staging. So we're going to see the 6 engines on the ship ignite while still attached to the booster. Just before that, we'll see all but 3 center engines on the booster shut down. In what we call MECO, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine. And so while we continue to watch it go up, a lot of our flight controllers looking at all the systems around the tower. Again, we have to send a manual command.
Bro, this is sick.
It's about
This
30
is
seconds
sick.
away from hot staging. And we heard the tower is go for catch.
Booster engine cutoff.
The return flag is set for true.
Ship engine startup. Stage separation.
All right, hot staging confirmed.
Booster
6 out of
boost
6
back
lit on the ship. Booster boost back going. We heard that we are go for catch. Kate, Jesse, take out the views. Hopefully I got a booster coming home real soon.
Wow, from our view here, Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that Super Heavy booster. Right now it is performing the
Ship
boost
chamber
back
pressure
burn.
nominal.
Good news there, telling us that the pressures inside the ship are good. That is the second stage or the upper portion of the vehicle. Follow along with the telemetry on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, booster is currently, Super Heavy is currently in its boost back burn. This boost back
Ship
burn,
avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
this boost back burn lasts just a little bit over a minute. So we've got a little, approximately 30 seconds left.
We've had shutdown of that boost back burn. Up next will be hot stage jettison. the view from the camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, and then tracking cam there on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll see those grid fins.
Booster offshore divert.
And we can also see that the hot stage has been jettisoned.
Yes, visual confirmation of that there on your screen, which is great. Now the next
Starship is following a nominal trajectory.
The next step for booster is going into that landing burn. Again, it'll light up 13 of those engines and then pare down to 3 engines right before booster catch.
All right, now just real quick, we did hear the call out, booster offshore divert. Unfortunately, that means that we are no-go for the catch. As we said before, both the tower and the vehicle, as well as the operators on console, have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch tower. And unfortunately, we did not have a pass on those commit criteria. So we are no-go for tower catch.
And we did mention that we're constantly evaluating the criteria for catch. There's a lot of things that need to go well in order to line that up. Unfortunately, today we will forego booster catch today. But what you're seeing on your screen is ship currently making its way towards the Indian Ocean, still looking good so far.
Exactly. So views there of the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, views of the ship on the right-hand side of your screen. Now, we said before that it was not guaranteed that we would be able to make a tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was pretty epic on attempt 1, but the safety of the teams and the public and the pad itself are paramount. So we are accepting no compromises in any of those areas.
Exactly. And we're still going to get a lot of good flight data with booster even, but especially with ship. Again, we have an additional objective today to do an in-space relight of a Raptor engine, which again will help us set us up for being able to do deorbit burns, which is
Ship chamber pressure is phenomenal.
which is important for orbital flights. And what you're seeing on your screen is a view from Super Heavy as it's making its way back down to Earth.
Yeah, once again, we are attempting an offshore landing of the Super Heavy booster. So we have seen this before, and it is still very fun to watching it come down for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast of Texas. We can see it there re-entering. We saw earlier those grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic grid fins. Oh, we can see that the landing burn has begun on the Super Heavy booster.
And same pattern, 13 engines will light, gone down to 3 just as we expected. And what an incredible view of splashdown that we got today of Super Heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure the buoy cam views will be pretty awesome once again. So we'd like to confirm a water landing once again for the Super Heavy booster. Congrats to the SpaceX team for making that milestone as well. Now, ship continues to look good. We can see that it is, while all of that was happening, the crowd here in Hawthorne continuing to react to all these amazing views that we're getting. The next milestone is
Starship is in terminal guidance.
Great news there. Starship terminal guidance, referring to what we see here on our screen, the upper stage, at about 8 minutes, 35 seconds or so, we have ship engine cutoff, which will be the cutoff of the Raptor engines. We can see on our screen ship giving us some incredible views brought to us by Starlink. This view is also very interesting because we can see basically the receding tile line that we referred to earlier, where we mentioned we have removed a number of heat shield tiles in order to test out and push the envelope on the ship and demonstrate what its capabilities are.
Ship engine cutoff.
And there we just heard call out for SECO, ship engine cutoff. Great news there. Everything continuing to look awesome for ship.
Full view looking aft on ship here.
Ship FTS is saved. Nominal orbit insertion.
There's that call out we were waiting for. Confirmation of good orbital insertion for ship today.
It has been a very exciting afternoon so far. We'd like to send it back over to Dan, who can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again, are you okay after witnessing another Starship launch?
Yeah, totally fine. You guys have to be jealous. This is the only way to do this. This is fantastic. No, it was really cool to see a liftoff, 33 out of 33. Didn't go for the booster catch today. Initially, we were good, and then we tripped a commit criteria and did the offshore divert. So we went and did that water landing, as everybody saw. We'll dig into it a little bit more, but again, we've done it once, we've now done it twice. We're going to keep trying to do it, as this is just a core capability of Starship and what's going to make it so incredible. There's a lot left. We're just about almost 10 minutes into this flight, so about 50 plus minutes still to go. Ship nominal orbit, so it's on its way around the planet. It's going to attempt to do an in-space burn. We're going to light one of those Raptor engines, the sea level ones in the middle, just to help demonstrate that we can relight in that microgravity environment, really critical for deorbit burns as we start to do some orbital missions in the not too distant future. And then following that, we'll see a ship entry, maybe a splashdown. As you guys said, we're really going to be pushing ship on this one. We're pretty much intentionally putting it in places where we expect it might not do so great. And all that's to try and help us learn, see if we were a little too conservative. And then maybe that opens up more capability for when we start catching them. But I'll check back in with everybody in a little bit. I'm going to tune in and watch the ship fly around planet Earth. And hopefully we see it re-entering in the not too distant future. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Dan. Development testing, by definition, is unpredictable, which we saw with super heavy splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico today, but that is exactly why we test. As is standard for these tests, the area around the pad and along the flight path was cleared prior to launch, and we expect the road and beach to remain closed until further notice.
Yeah, testing development.
Okay, guys. Well, not what, I guess you need to do more testing to get the catch right and to make it consistent. So more data will be on Never Bet Against Elon Musk, of course. But let me go ahead and just mute this for a bit. But yeah, that was a sheesh moment. Hopefully one day I can come and see this myself, and all of you guys there too. That would be an epic thing, and maybe we can do a live stream from there. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, that was cool. And I think they said there's like 50 minutes of this, which is insane. I obviously can't stay for that long because what's the time? Time is 1:12 a.m. Bro, I gotta go to bed. So you guys can go ahead and just watch that on your own. I'm gonna call it a night and have a lot of good videos coming for you guys tomorrow and the day after, and my price target for 2025 for Tesla dropping on Saturday. But if you're a YouTube member, if you're a member, you'll receive it on Friday, as well as on the same day. If you're a Patreon member, you get the whole Excel sheet on Patreon as well for Patreon members. So get ready for that. It's going to be a sheesh flipping weekend. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to head to bed because it's like over 1:30. See you guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of the SpaceX flight. See ya.